Hey everybody, it's Mike, and I'm back. I was having some problems, a lot of problems. So no internet for like days, and came across some important videos I wanted to share, but I didn't have internet here in my uh, condo, so I couldn't go live. So I'm doing it now, and I got a couple things to talk about. So let's get right into the new and improved, the new and improved opening. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, that was wow. that's that's intense. That's an intense opening. All that stuff like murder and madness and child abuse and whew, man. Thanks for watching. No, I'm just um like that opening's like a whole show in itself right there. But yeah, let me start off with just saying, for those of you new, never seen me before, never seen it, I was in the Hare Krishnas for 20 years. I've been out for 13 years. And I I know everything about it up to the point where I left. Um, a lot's happened since I left that I'm not really up on, but everything that they do, everything they say is right on the internet. So you can go right there and find it. And I know a lot of you out there don't know anything how. So I do it. And I can keep you up to date on all the crappy shit about the Hare Krishna that's dangerous shit. It's horrible stuff. And I can condense it all down into an hour and a half, depending how disgusted I get with all the crap. So I was never a guru, but I knew gurus, and I knew a bunch of them, and worked with them, and ISKCON gurus and other gurus. I put enough time in there where I probably could have been a guru if I had, wanted to go that route. Was never a temple president or any of that, but I worked with a lot of old time devotees. There's nothing you can tell me. Been to India over 10 times. Vrindavan, lived in Vrindavan for a couple months. Been there 10 times, over 10 times in the last 20 years. That's like average of one every 2 years. Once every 2 years or so, average. Go to Vrindavan, India. So it's not like I was just like, I'm not, wasn't never famous in the Hare Krishnas. There's people that know who I am, but not really. What can I say? But anyway, I want to start off with a video. Basically, about cults, about what it's like to leave a cult, and I thought it was interesting. It's really short, and I just wanted to share it real quick. Um,
You look behind the curtain, you realize Oz is there, pulling the strings. There's just way too much disturbing literature there that made it so that I could not believe it anymore.
When you're trained to be an FBI agent, you're trained to what?
You gotta have the details, you gotta have them right.
When he gets his teeth sunk into a case, he is not letting go until he has every single bit of evidence there's possible.
It was a brand new world, surprising and profoundly disappointing. All of us that have been defenders of the church and who have invested all of their lives, the covenants I took in the temple to give all of my resources to the church, including my life. I was serious about that. When you put that kind of effort into something, and then you realize you have been deceived, it is so disheartening, so disappointing. You look behind the curtain, you realize Oz is there, pulling the...
okay, so he's right. It's a shock. It's really something when you realize that you've been deceived for so long, sometimes your whole life. So a lot of people stay in because they can't handle accepting that it's fake and phony. They'd rather just stay in it than accept that what they're doing is completely imaginary. That it's just cosplaying. You're cosplaying. Whether it's Jehovah's Witness, Mormon, Hare Krishna, you're cosplaying. It's not real. And Hare Krishna gets away with it because they go, "What is this ancient? This is traditional ancient Indian culture. This and that." Okay, you can't really argue with that. There is some cultural similarities between what the Hare Krishnas do and what traditional Hindus did and do. But other than those few similarities, there's no reason to join a cult of pedophile gurus with racist and sexist child marriage promoting, not just promoting. Hare Krishnas are into child marriage the same way Mormons are into polygamy. And Hare Krishnas are into polygamy too. I mean, Prabhupada says it in his books. Now, they can't really practice it because it's against the law. But Prabhupada says in his books that it's perfectly fine for a man to have many wives. If there's not enough men around, then sure. Doesn't matter what cult you're in. They're all destructive. They're all based on these crazy teachings. Well, Hare Krishna, I'm going to stick with them. This pedophilia, because that's what we're talking about. This pedophilia, these pedophile gurus, and we're gonna watch this video. I'm gonna comment on this video. This is a video. Let's see when I get back to where it starts here. I didn't watch it all. I watched a little bit of it, and I said, "Oh my goodness, this is." So, I think this is made by someone who is in the cult, and they're calling out gurus that are into little girls. One guru in particular. Missing the whole point that the whole cult is about this. It's not just, it's in the teachings, it's in the books, it's in everything. It's part of the culture. So you can't just call out a guru without calling out the whole thing. Hey Jaiho, how you doing? Glad that you're here. I'm so glad you're here to watch. So I'm gonna just show this, because when I started watching this, I said, "Oh my God, this is worse than I thought," and I knew it was pretty bad. I mean, I don't know. It is it's outrageous. But anyway, let me just get this started. Here we go.
A video of Brian Tibbetts appeared on YouTube on April 22nd, 2016. Notice the title includes the words, "and children." This is just how desensitized these people have become to his behavior. They have come to view it as normal. Notice also the number of dislikes. However, the video was taken down yesterday, and this is because a website, prabhupada.org.uk, published an article and a video exposing the so-called Swami as a pedophile. That video had close to 4,000 views, and it was taken down due to a copyright claim by ISKCON somewhere in Russia. But we took the liberty to upload it once again because we want the public to watch it and make up their own minds. The link is on the screen, but you will also be able to find it in the description. It is not the first time that something like this happens. Back in 2011, Tibbetts removed dozens, if not hundreds of pictures from his Facebook profile. Let's take a quick look at them. History repeats itself, and it wouldn't be the first time that ISKCON has a pedophile in a position of authority. Kim Ham likes little boys, Brian Tibbetts likes little girls. From their website, let's quickly look at what a sannyas is supposed to be. A sannyas avoids women. Should not talk intimately with women. Lord Chaitanya cannot tolerate seeing the face of a sannyas who talks intimately with women. Should not even hear a woman's name. Forbidden to hear women singing. And yet we see the opposite behavior in ISKCON. Thorsten Peterson, also known as Sachinandana, so-called Swami, lives with one...
Okay, let me just... Okay, let me just comment here, because there's a couple things going on that, one is the obvious misogyny in the teachings. Can't see a woman, can't be with a woman, can't hear a woman singing, all these things prohibiting a man, a sannyasi, a spiritual leader, from even hearing a woman's voice, from hearing her sing, from being in her vicinity. All of these things is so sexist and so misogynistic that it's the woman's fault that this man can't control himself. So the woman's got to stay away from the man. You see what's going on in the teachings themselves? So the people that are making this video, they can't recognize the sexism and the misogyny in the teachings that this guy is breaking, so he can surround himself with women and little girls. So you got two things going on. So they're able to call out that this guy's breaking these rules, but they're not able to see that the rules he's breaking are totally sexist and misogynistic. Like the brain, the way their brain has to work in order for them to function. Like, okay, this guru he's breaking the rules about being around women, and he's being around women, which is creepy, but what about the creepy rules about not being around women? This is what I'm saying about how cults cause mental illness. Like, I'm going nuts just trying to figure this out. Like, the teachings are saying a man, obviously a man, because we should all strive to be spiritually advanced. So while the rules are talking about a sannyasi, the implication is that all men become sannyasis. So this is the rule that all men are supposed to follow in life, whether you're a brahmachari or a householder married, or a sannyasi, or a retired. It doesn't matter. This is how you're supposed to treat women. Avoid them. What to speak of even having a loving, meaningful, loving relationship where you share your thoughts and heart and your feelings and your emotions, and you share loving. No, their idea of sharing loving exchanges between a husband and wife is doing something for Krishna, cooking for Krishna, doing something for the deities, doing something for only for Krishna, not because you love your wife, but because you love Krishna. They can't comprehend that I could love another person. They teach that your wife and your parents and your children are not real. It's just temporary. Then when you go back to Godhead, that's when you become who you really are. And you're not even going to remember what's happening down here. They're trying to teach my daughter that I wasn't her dad. I was just her father figure. Like, I wasn't really her dad. They have this weird mental thing going on where these rules are fine. It's breaking these rules that are crazy. Well, you know what? The rules themselves are crazy and creepy, and breaking them is pretty creepy too. Because the way it's set up, you would think, well, he should be right in breaking the rules. He should be surrounding himself with women. What? No, he's a spiritual leader in charge of people's lives, making decisions for these people, whether they should get married, whether they should have kids. He's totally in control of all of the people around him and his disciples, making it no different than the way the Pope controls people. The Pope decides whether you can eat meat on Friday, or whether you can't eat meat on Friday, or whether you can wear a condom or you can't wear a condom. These gurus have even more control. He tells them what to name their kids. He tells them where to live. He tells them what to do, where to go, whether they can have a job or not. All kinds of. So when these guys are breaking the rules, and they're pretty weird rules, it's just weird all the way around. following the rules, breaking the rules, having the rules, not having the rules. I mean, causes mental illness. What? There's no other way to explain it.
One of his female disciples, and they traveled together all around the world. History repeats itself. In the following footage, you will see clear evidence of totally inappropriate physical contact between titties and young children. This type of physical contact has been identified by child protection groups as sexual grooming by a pedophile. Predator might touch your child in your presence so that he or she thinks that you are comfortable with the touching. This act might be as simple as strapping an arm over the child's shoulder or asking for a hug to say goodbye. Be aware of your child's reactions to other adults' touches. Does your child's...
This is such a cult that all these women are standing around watching this guy groping this little girl. She's obviously uncomfortable being around this guy. You can tell by her face. I can tell. I'm not even there, and I can tell that this little girl is creeped out about this guy. And all these women are standing around like friggin' like witches, just sitting there googling at the warlock who's about to devour this little child. That's what it looks like. It's a disgusting... This is a disgusting play of cult dynamic going on. Where this guy is so in control... This is what I was saying. These guys are so in control of these people's lives that these women are afraid to stand up and go get this little girl and take her and put her in... This is friggin'... This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
Stiffen or seem uncomfortable. Also, never force your child to show affection to anyone when they are uncomfortable doing so. This leaves the impression that forced physical contact is okay.
This is a vile and disgusting thing that's going on right here. This is in a temple room. There's chanting going on. There's they're saying prayers or whatever you want to call it. This little girl is pretty much being molested by this guy. He's not fingering her area, but he is obviously, he's got his hands on her, touching her. She doesn't like it. She's not smiling. She wants to get the hell out of there. She's looking around for somebody help me. And all these women are just sitting there. Like this guy is some kind of friggin' god. And this guy sitting there. They're all just looking. Does that little girl look like she's... Does she look happy? Does that little girl look happy to be there? This woman on the right at the top, she looks concerned. She looks like she's got a concern. She's had a concerned look on her face the whole time. The woman next to her doesn't seem to give a shit at all. And then the woman kneeling down with the earrings looking up, she seems like she's aware that the little girl is uncomfortable. She's got a look on her face like something's wrong. But I'm telling you, they're all afraid to say anything. The little girl is definitely has a problem. And then I don't know if the lady that we only see the back of her head, I don't know if that's her mom. I guess that's her mom, because she's talking to her and saying mama. I guess she seems oblivious to the whole thing, or doesn't seem to care. Like, why wouldn't you just grab your kid and say, come here? What mental control do they have over these people where they let this go on? All of these women. And then this guy in the front, this watching the whole thing. He's just watching the whole thing. Can't take his eyes off of this thing. He can't take his eyes off. He's been sitting there watching this whole thing. I don't know if I've ever seen a more disgusting thing happening than what's going on right here. See, one thing I have to interject here, that I don't know if this goes unmentioned, but he can't really do this with a grown woman. Like, if he was to have a grown woman sit there, he can't touch her and stroke her hair and pat her on the stomach and wrap his arm around her and rub her waist and fidget with her, and he can't do that with a grown woman. Because that's definitely not acceptable. No, can't do that with a grown woman. No, but a little girl, he can get away with it. Obviously, he's getting away with it with a little girl, because now it's like grandpa touching the little girl. He's being grandfather. He's being like a grandfather, although he's never even been a father. How's he being a grandfather when he's never even been a father? He's never been a husband. He's never been a husband. He's never been a father. But now he's going to play grandfather? Now he's going to play grandfather? He's supposed to be avoiding women all the time, but he has no problem with little girls. And now tell me, if this was anywhere else, in a bookstore, a book signing, and he was the author of the book, and he's pulling little girls over and touching them, stroking their hair, you think they people would be standing around like it was no big deal? if he was a bus driver. And every time a little girl got on the bus, he picked her up, put his arm around her, stroked her hair, gave her a hug. You don't think people would be like, hey, what's up with this bus driver, man? Librarian. Every time a little girl comes into the library, come here. Come here, little girl. Let me give you a hug. Let me put my arm around you and rub your stomach. Let me stroke your hair, rub your ponytail. While all the adults stand around and watch. What friggin' planet is that? What goddamn fucking planet is that? Friggin' people losing their minds because drag queens are reading books to children. But then you got this guy with his hands all over little girls. And the adults are just sitting around like it's no big deal. Like it's no big deal. Now he's doing it a second time. They fast forward to the video and they're showing you like, oh, another little girl here. Oh, Grandpa's at it again. What a disgusting old man. Why is it so important for him to be around little girls? Why is it so important for him to be around little girls? He's got all these adults around him, right? Like, look, if you look at this picture, there's all these adults standing around. All these adult women, these disciples, his father and the mother, they're all sitting there. All around him. They're all sitting there. But who does he choose to have come up to the front? All the little kids, the little girls. And he puts his hands all over them. Why? Why is that so friggin' important? Why doesn't he just have a call all the adults over? They can all sit there. The children can sit with their parents, and he can give a lecture and talk about Krishna and talk about whatever the fuck your cult talks about. Well, we know what they talk about. They talk about doing shit like this. You ask yourself a question: Why? Why doesn't he have all those people sitting around him, and sit with your kid, get this little girl, go to your mom, little boy, go sit with your dad, and I'm going to talk about Krishna. I'm going to talk about Krishna stealing yogurt, butter, or feeding butter to the monkeys, or Krishna and Balaram and Aghasura demon, or Krishna and Mother Yashoda and tying him to the more. Well, so many things you could be sitting there talking about. You could be talking about Bhagavad Gita and how we're not the soul, how we're not the body, we're spirit soul. Or the power of the holy name and chanting and all these things. He could be talking about so many things he could be sitting there talking about. And nobody would give a fuck. But instead, he does shit like this. He ignores all the adults, focuses on some little girl, stroking her hair, putting his arm around her. Right in front of adults. Right in front of the adults. Right in front of her mom and dad. Right in front of her mom and dad, he's doing this shit. And doing that in front of my daughter. I made the mistake of my daughter going to the school. She just went to the school. She wasn't even with a guru and doing this whole thing. She wasn't doing all this stuff. She played Krishna in the play. She was dancing in the school, doing little girl things. She wasn't in a boarding school. She wasn't. And this creep still got his hands on her. I can't imagine this. Having some old guy like this stroking your little girl's hair. Like he's grandpa or something. He's not grandpa. Guy's not grandpa. This fucker can't keep his hands off her. He cannot keep his hands off of her. I agree, you dirty bastard, posing as a saint and touching up young children. Absolutely. What is he? What is she? A madunga drum or something? She's obviously uncomfortable. She can't even look at him. She's looking at the ground. She doesn't want anything to do with this guy. It is absolute. Look at this guy. He will not stop touching her. He's touched her the whole time, and the people are sitting around talking like it's no big deal. And she's obviously in distress. She's gonna touch her hair again. Look, she's uncomfortable. She just raised her shoulders up. He just said, "What's wrong? Why are you uncomfortable?" The mom's like, "It's okay. Don't be scared. These people are sick." He's still got his hands on her. Now he's touching her some more. This is disgusting. And it's just him groping her in front of all these adults. And you can tell she doesn't like it. She's not acting like this is grandpa. She's not acting like she even knows this guy. She's not acting like this is friendly and it's no big deal. She's not acting like that. She's not acting like it's no big deal. She's acting like she doesn't like it. And she's acting like my mom and dad are making me do this. Now I'm a dad and I raised a daughter and I know. She don't like it. She don't like being next to this guy. She don't like him touching her, and she's not happy that her parents aren't doing anything about it, that they're making her do this. And that's why I say to all these people out there that join with their little kids, and you're running around in Vrindavan, or you're running around at the temple with your little toddler, little girl, little boy, toddlers, and you're running around the temple and you think everything's all fun and happy until this happens. Until your guru comes around and says, "Oh, where's little Malika?" Or Malika's 8 now. "Oh, well, great, bring her here." "Where's Lalita?" "Well, Lalita's 11. "Great, bring her here. I want her to sit on my lap. I want to play with her hair. I want to touch her." And then you as the parents are going to have to make a decision. Do I let this guy, this creepy old guru guy, touch my daughter or my son, put her on his lap or stroke her hair? Obviously my daughter doesn't like it, but do I make her do it now? Well, yeah, you make her do it because that's the road you picked. Because if you don't do it, now you're out. But what are you going to do? You're living in Vrindavan. This is your whole life now. And now you got to give your daughter up to these friggin' disgusting old guys. You think this guy's the only one doing this shit? Obviously, he had to take this video down. That's how bad this is for him.
Keep in mind that the first physical contact between a predator and his or her victim is often non-sexual and designed to desensitize the child. It breaks down inhibitions and leads to more overt sexual touching. It may begin as an accidental bump or rub, an arm around the shoulder, a brushing of hair. Teach your children that any physical contact between child and adult is something to be wary of and questioned.
This is child abuse. This is child abuse. Now they're making them read, I don't know, they're passing notes, making them read something like some kind of verses out of the Bhagavad Gita or something. The little boy and the little girl, he is grooming them to become their disciples, and then one time, who knows what, man. But this is disgusting all the way around. I'm gonna say this is disgusting because of all these adults in the room that are watching this go on, encouraging it, reinforcing that this behavior is okay. First of all, these little kids must feel like everybody's watching them. You know how that felt when you were a child and you were called into a room full of adults and there was someone special, like the grandfather or whoever was there, and you're the little kid in the room, and all the adults are surrounding, and there's something going on. Maybe it's your uncle's 80th birthday or 70th, and you're a little kid and you remember it was like, but everybody's watching you because they called you up. I remember when I was little, as an example, I remember when I was a little kid, we'd go to go see my grandfather on the weekends because we were Mexican, and we'd go we'd go see my tata, and he'd be sitting in the chair. He's 89, 90 years old, sitting in a chair. He'd have his hat on, and all the little kids, we'd all line up, and we'd all go up one at a time, and we'd give him a kiss on the cheek, and we'd say, hola grandpa, hola tata, and he'd say, oh mijo, and then we'd run away, and we'd go play. But we had to do that. That was like the tradition. And I remember it was like all our parents, because it was all the kids, all our parents would be standing around watching as we would all run up and we'd line up. We'd all go up and give a tata, because he was the oldest and he was the tata. So we'd give him a kiss. But I remember all the eyes watching, and it was like, don't do anything, don't mess up, don't don't follow, whatever, don't step on tata's feet, whatever it was. But it was like pressure that it was my turn to go give tata a kiss and say hola tata, como esta, whatever it was that we had to say. and then he would pat us on the head and say, "Oh, mijo," and then we'd go away. And I remember the story. I can't imagine what this is like for this little girl to be standing there for so long in front of all these adults while this old guy that she doesn't know, who's groping her and stroking her hair and making her feel uncomfortable, and everybody's watching her like it's a performance. And she can't say anything. She can't speak out and say, "Hey, I don't like this," or "Hey, can I leave? Can I go outside and play? Where are my friends at? I want to just go, ride my bike." No. She got to put up with it as long as they make her. All these adults, all these women look like witches, ready to sacrifice this little girl to this old man, to the warlock, to the warlock. He can get his claws on this little girl. All standing around.
Mr. Touchy-feely. Groomers need children to feel physically comfortable with them. They may hug, kiss, tickle, hold, wrestle, or maintain close proximity to a child they are targeting. Sometimes they may even accidentally touch a child inappropriately to gauge their reaction and test the situation to see if they will mention it to someone. This is often done right in front of people. They may ignore a child's cues that they do not want to engage in physical contact and try to persuade them that it's all in fun or because they love them.
Absolutely. Warlock Swamiji. It's like it is really weird how he's got these women all sitting around like his little covenant, or whatever you call it, right? It's like they're all just sitting around. The one in the back is watching, and there's three of them over here on the side, and one I think is holding the camera, and the mom I think is down in front. And they're all just sitting there like witches. Like witches is sitting there watching this guy grope this little girl. It's like Rosemary's Baby. If you've never seen the movie Rosemary's Baby, it's pretty weird, but this reminds me of Rosemary's Baby. If he's a real sadhu Swami, he should not be touching little children or women or men. He should have self-control and not be worshipped like a demigod himself. It's disgusting and weird. Right. So that brings up 2 points. One is there's no such thing as a sadhu or a swami. I mean, it's a made-up thing that doesn't really exist. It's cosplaying. He shouldn't be cosplaying, because to pull off the cosplay is really hard. It's really hard, especially when you're surrounding yourself with little girls all the time. But this is something that, this video should be analyzed by the behavior guy who analyzes body language. Somebody should send this clip to the body language guy and say, what's going on with this little girl, and what's going on with the predator guy, and what's going on with these women that are just sitting around watching. I would love to know what he thinks of this. He'd probably say, you know what, I called the FBI because obviously there's some abuse going on in this video. All these adults sitting around watching this little girl being tormented by this guy. Look at her. She can't even look She can't even look at anybody. She has not making eye contact with any adult because she doesn't trust any adult in the room because they're making her do this. And she definitely is not making eye contact with a Grandpa G because she's afraid of him because he keeps touching her and she doesn't like him touching her hair and her neck and her whatever. So she's sitting there like, she probably feels like a lamb going to slaughter. There's no one in that room, not even her mom and dad. Not even her mom and dad are protecting her from this guy. She doesn't even feel safe. She doesn't even feel safe running to her mom and dad. You know, like, usually a kid, when they don't feel safe, they look for their mom and dad. They're like, hey, you know, I gotta, mom and dad are what keeps me safe. I don't have to call the police. I don't have to run and hide. I just go to mom and dad. I don't have to run. I don't do anything. I just where's mom and dad? Where's dad? Where's mom? But she doesn't even have that. She doesn't even have that. She can't even look. She's looking down. She's not even looking at. She's like, she doesn't even know where to look. Because she can't look at any of these adults. Because she knows that they're not happy with her. She knows she can't trust them. They're the ones that are making her do this. And she can't look at Grandpa. She doesn't want to look at him because he's disgusted. He's totally disgusting her. This is like one of the saddest videos I've ever seen. Do these kids even look happy? The little boy doesn't even look like he wants to shake this guy's hand. The little girl's, I guess, talking to her dad, and she's kind of trying to smile. It looks like she's trying to smile, but back to touching her again. Back to touching her again. Can't take his hands off this little girl. If that was anybody else, now he's touching her hand. Can I get a hug? Obviously, she doesn't want nothing to do with him, and now he's coercing her into a hug. Why does he need a hug? Why does Swami pedophile need a hug from this little girl who's obviously scared and doesn't want anything to do with him? And now he's coercing her into a hug. This is child abuse. This is child abuse. And the mom and dad are totally just like enabling this. And this little girl is going to have issues. She's going to have issues with this organization. She's going to have issues with her mom and dad. She's totally uncomfortable. He's touching her, hasn't taken his hands off of her the whole time, and now he's trying to talk her. He's talking her into a hug. He's such a fucking creep. This guy is such a creepy old man. And all these women are just sitting around like this is normal. What did that do? Did he just pass on to her some spiritual knowledge or something through the hug? Why was that necessary? He's not hugging anybody else. Now he wants to hug the little boy. What is he, like Grandpa Swami? Why is it so important for him to hug little kids? He's not hugging those other ladies He's not hugging his disciple or the father. He's not hugging the mom. What's with this guy? He doesn't even. He didn't even want to hug, and he did not want to hug this man. They made him hug. The mother and father, whoever it was, put his arms around this pedophile. They forced him to hug this man that this little boy didn't want to have anything to do with. Now you tell me that's not child abuse. The mom and dad, these adults in this room, are making this little boy hug this man. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You should not be forcing a child to hug someone they don't want to hug. I mean, what the hell is that? You are forcing this child to honor and respect someone that this kid knows, who this kid feels doesn't deserve anything. I'm so disgusted with this right now that I'm I don't know. I think I've just about seen enough of this guy. This guy's disgusting. I knew he was disgusting before I saw this video, but this video is, I want to say it's worse than I thought, but it's not really. It's exactly what I thought, but I'm seeing it. It's exactly what I knew he was doing. It's exactly what I knew he was doing. It's exactly the behavior I would expect of him. I just never saw it before. So this is like I've seen pictures of him, photographs, and I knew that just the photographs and the stories that I've heard about the guy, that this guy's a disgusting fucking creep. And now I watch this video, and I'm like, which of these guys doesn't do this? Which of these gurus doesn't do this with little kids? You tell me which of these gurus does not do this? Probably would bring the little kids up, give them their cookie in the morning or whatever, give them their little cookie and send them. I don't know what Prabhupada. I don't know what Prabhupada was doing with these little kids, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't touching the little girls, stroking their hair, doing the same exact thing he is. I wouldn't be surprised if Prabhupada wasn't doing the exact same thing that this guy is doing. And how many others? Lokanath? Absolutely, we know he was doing. He's doing it. All the gurus that have been investigated by ISKCON and what do you call it? Whatever they suspend them. They don't notify the authorities. They know that these guys have done stuff because they suspend them from being gurus. They take away their whatever. They say you can't be temple president anymore. You can't be a sannyasi anymore. You can't be a guru anymore. But they don't think that they're a criminal. They belong in jail. That's where they belong. They belong in jail. They suspend them for all kinds of things. Take away their guru card. Take away their temple, or take away their whatever. All of those things. But report them to the police. Have them arrested. Have the shit forwarded to the proper authorities. No, that they don't do. That they don't do. Okay, so let me just. That's the third little girl that he's groped, and those women are just sitting around watching like it's no big deal, like it's totally normal, like it's totally normal. Those evil, those evil ladies, man. I think those women are.
Rumor will insist on physical affection, such as holding, kissing, hugging, or wrestling, even when the child clearly does not want it.
These women, all these ladies, they all watched him grope these little girls. 3 different little girls. These ladies all sat there and watched him grope them. And I'm sure they would not have liked that if he had was doing that to them. Maybe they would. I don't know. It's disgusting. And that's what these people are doing. That's what these people are doing. Not only that, but now, as I was saying, Hare Krishnas, I mean, this is pretty disgusting. Hare Krishnas, the racist, sexist, child marriage, child grooming, child groping that you just witnessed. It's not the exception of their cult. This guy's not the exception. This guy's what it's about. This is what these people do. He's not the exception. If he was the exception and doing what is something that was not normal, not accepted, would all these women be sitting there looking at him like he's frigging God? Like they just witnessed the greatest thing ever? No one spoke up. No one said, hey, that's not right. You shouldn't be. No. Nobody did. They all sat there like he is friggin' God. because this is totally normal and acceptable. Totally normal and acceptable. This is normal and acceptable. What he did is normal and acceptable. Why do you think they're all sitting there like it's no big deal? Because it's no big deal. They can sit there and watch him groom these little girls and boys, put his hands all over them. He didn't stop touching one of them. As soon as the little girl got up there, his hands were all over her. Stroking her back, stroking her side, stroking her hair, asking for a hug. The little boy didn't want anything to do with him. He could see that his sister didn't like it. And they made him do it. They made him put his arms around this guy. Then they bring in another little girl. And he grabs her. He starts holding on to her. It's just a fucking guy. And these people are sitting there like it's the greatest thing ever. Okay, so now I'm gonna change that. That's friggin'. I gotta take a break. I gotta get away from this guy and his grooming of these kids. I'm not too far away, but I'm gonna get away. I gotta get away because it's all the same crap. These friggin' Hare Krishnas. It's like I said. Like I said they would. Gonna march in the Martin Luther King Day parade. Gonna march in the Martin Luther King Day parade. A man who stood for civil rights for everyone, for civil rights for black people, but for everyone, because everyone's gonna benefit. Everyone benefits from civil rights, even white people. Everyone benefits. Martin Luther King. For women's rights, for minority rights, for human rights. That's what he stood for. That's what he stands for. And then the Hare Krishnas, with pedophile, with that kind of behavior that they think is normal, that they can sit around, all those people can sit around. You can say, well, that guru, that one guru. No, they all sat there like that was perfectly fine. Nobody in that room thought there was anything wrong with what he was doing. Except everybody watching this fucking video. We all see that it's wrong. We all see it's friggin' disgusting. We all see that the people sitting around watching it are fucking insane freaks. That the parents are sitting there making their son do. It's not just him. It's the whole cult. They all think like that. He's not the only guru. Oh, he's the child molesting guru. No. He's the one who screwed up and put the video on his webpage, and everyone started talking about it, and they took it down, and now everyone... No. He's the one who just doesn't give a shit about it. No, none of them do. If what he was doing was wrong, all those people in the room would not have been sitting there letting it happen. Letting it happen. His disciple sitting there didn't say, hey, Guruji, maybe you shouldn't be stroking the little girl's hair. No. Disciple was like, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Dad didn't say, hey, maybe you shouldn't have your hands all over my daughter. Nope, Dad didn't say that either. Dad was like perfectly fine with it. Mom didn't sit there and go, take her daughter back when the daughter was saying, "Hey mom, can you hey mom, hey mom, hey mom." And her mom was like pushing her right up. These people are insane. These people are friggin' insane. They all think like this. They all think like this. It's not like that he's a crazy guru. If he was the crazy one, why are all those people sitting there like it was perfectly normal? How come mom and dad didn't stand up, grab their kids and go, "You're a crazy guru"? How come his disciple didn't go, "Hey, this is against the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. Hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. You're a sannyas." No, not one person stood up and said, "Hey, you're a guru. You shouldn't be manhandling these little kids like this." No, nobody did. Nobody said anything. Not mom, not dad, not disciple, not the ladies watching, not nobody. So you got a whole cult of people think like this. They think that kind of behavior is fine, perfectly normal. Child marriage is perfectly normal. Women, you saw what it said about women. You shouldn't talk to them. Don't hear them sing. Don't hear their voice. Don't even look at them. Don't be anywhere near them. Don't even look at the face of a man who looked at the face of a face that looked at the face of a woman. What the fuck is all that about? The guy came to Lord Chaitanya and said that he did something stupid. It was like not a big deal. He saw a Mayavadi, or he saw something. He did something, and Lord Chaitanya said, Lord Chaitanya said, "You should go kill yourself," and so the guy did. That's who we're talking about. A guy who said, "Oh, you looked at he looked at a woman. He looked at a woman." Lord Chaitanya saw him look at a woman with lust in his eye, like, ooh. And Lord Chaitanya said, "Hey, I saw that. You need to go kill yourself." So the guy went and killed himself. These people are nuts. That's who they follow. That's who they think is taking them back. He told the guy who looked at a woman to go kill himself. "I can't have you around me. You looked at a woman with lust." That's how bad women are. I already went over what they think of black people. I don't need to go over that anymore, how they think of black people. But Martin Luther King, they have a parade in Los Angeles every year, and guess who wants to be in that parade? Guess who wants to be in that parade? The fuck is that? Who had the bright idea to let these racist motherfuckers in the Martin Luther King Day parade? That's like letting the KKK and the Nazis march in the Martin Luther King Day parade. Yeah, we'll just let the Nazis and the KKK. Yeah, come down in your full KKK get up and go ahead with your flags and everything, and you can come march in our Martin Luther King Day parade. Whose bright idea was it to let the Hare Krishnas in that friggin' parade? That's what I'm talking about. Why are they in there? Who invited them in? Who let them in? Why would you let them in? I sent an email asking why. And I explained everything about the Hare Krishnas and their racist views and the racist things in their books. I got no reply. I got no answer. I was just asking a question. So, if you're looking for something to protest, the Hare Krishnas are a child abusing, child grooming, child trafficking, child marriage promoting, pedophile protecting cult. They hate women. They hate children. They hate democracy. They hate black people. They're going to say, well, we don't hate anyone. We love everybody. No, you don't. You don't. I know. I was one of you guys. You say you love. You're like, oh, well, we pass out books to everybody. Yeah, you pass out books to everybody, but I can show you how you talk about people who are not devotees. You talk about them like they're dogs. They're demons. They're karmis. They're meat eaters. Fornicators. Residents of Pataloka and whatever, hellish planets, demoniac, homosexuals are demons, people killing cows, breaking relative principles, having illicit sex. You talk about people who are not devotees like they're absolute demons from hell. You don't want anything to do with them. You don't want to go. You don't want to be out where they are. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything. You don't associate with people that are not Hare Krishnas because all the things I just said. You don't want anything to do with them. You're only there to take their money and give them a book. That's all. That's the only thing you're there for. And the only reason you're in the Martin Luther King Day parade is to distribute books and to get money. You say you're there to spread the holy name, but spreading the holy name to you means selling books and getting donations. And what's in the books that you're spreading? More of this crap. More of this racism, this sexism, the pedophilia, protecting pedophiles. Why would I donate money to your temple when your temple community has pedophiles in it that you are protecting? Why would I go to your restaurant when the money that I would spend at your restaurant is helping to protect pedophiles in your community? You protect them. You don't call them out. You don't put them on a registry. You don't notify the authorities. You let them get away with it. You let predators thrive in your communities. No child is safe in your community. And yet you want to go march up and down the street in the Martin Luther King Day Parade and spread your books that promotes this dangerous philosophy. Women are less intelligent. Women like to get raped. Women are lustier than men. Children, 11-year-old girls should get married, must get married. Women should be married before puberty. Women should be under the control of men at all times. And you want to try and brush that stuff all under the rug and act like that's not part of your teachings and that's not important stuff in your cult, but it is very important. That is the essence of who you people are. And I know because I was one of you. And I know how important all of that stuff is. And to this day, you're doing the same things you've always done. It doesn't matter who the guru is. It doesn't matter if it was Srila. It's even worse if Srila Prabhupada's the guru. Because you believe every friggin' word he says. Everything about women being stupid, women being less intelligent, women being lusty, not 9 times lustier, that gurus can do no wrong, gurus can be horrible people and still be saintly, that all of these horrible things, that you can kill devotees you don't like, killing them is perfectly fine. All of this stuff is in your fucking books. And the only reason you are out anywhere is so you can spread that crap. So don't tell me about loving this and loving that and we want to do this and Indian culture and all that. No, it's all about spreading your crap, your Prabhupada crap, spreading it more and more. That's all it is. It's just you want to remove all these gurus that are taking away from Prabhupada. They're spreading their crap and you want to spread your Prabhupada crap. There's no different. It's all the same crap. All the same crap. It doesn't matter who. You think it matters? You have 2 dogs crapping on the street. Does it matter that the one dog was a German Shepherd and the other one was a Husky? Does it matter? Doesn't matter. Fucking Ritvik, Shitvik, Digvik, whatever the fucking prick you want to call it. It doesn't matter. You're all a bunch of pieces of shit. Hey, and that's my show for today. I want to thank you, everybody. That's it. I'm done with these pieces of shit. Hare Krishnas. Can't take anymore. Class is over. I'm not gonna. But anyway, hopefully next year we can keep them from infiltrating the Martin Luther King Day Parade next year. I don't know what we have to do to get them out, get them off of that thing, but we'll see what we can do. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for joining in. Eliana, Miriam, Yisrael, thanks for joining me. Everybody else, thanks for watching on the replay. Everybody like, share, subscribe, get these videos out there, stop this cult, or this child trafficking cult, and yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and help with the algorithm, and have some great luck. Have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great wherever you are, and have some great luck, and please stay out of a cult, and let's watch the ending. Do I have an ending? I think I have an ending here. Here we go.